In this podcast episode, the host interviews Dr. Laith Al-Shawaf, a psychologist and researcher who explores the adaptive nature of emotions and their evolutionary significance. We delve into the complexities of emotions, including their physiological and behavioral impacts, the distinction between envy and jealousy, sex differences in emotional responses, and the concept of meta-emotions. Dr. Al-Shawaf also discusses the challenges of navigating emotions in modern society and offers insights on applying emotional understanding to daily life. Emotions are often perceived as irrational, yet they serve essential functions that have evolved over time. Dr. Al-Shawaf emphasizes that each emotion has a specific adaptive purpose tied to survival, reproduction, or social navigation. For instance, fear acts as a protective mechanism against danger, disgust helps us avoid pathogens, and anger can facilitate better treatment in social interactions. Romantic love fosters pair bonding, while envy aids in navigating social hierarchies. This dual nature of emotions, being both functional and a source of distress, creates what Dr. Al-Shawaf refers to as the emotion paradox. While emotions are crucial for survival, they can also lead to psychological disorders and personal suffering. One reason emotions have been misunderstood is the tendency to equate them solely with their feeling states, overlooking the physiological and behavioral changes they trigger. For example, fear not only induces a feeling of being afraid, but also narrows attention, heightens perception, and reallocates energy toward muscles for escape. Similarly, disgust triggers immune responses and alters social behavior, such as reducing extroversion. Emotions coordinate various systems in our body and mind to address adaptive problems, making them more than just subjective experiences. The focus on how emotions feel stems from their salience and valence. We care about how things feel, which leads to an overemphasis on the feeling state. However, emotions also advocate for our needs and interests, though some emotions are more social than others. Guilt, for instance, is about repairing relationships, while disgust is more about avoiding infection. This broader understanding of emotions encompasses those that promote social bonds and alliances, highlighting their communal aspects. Dr. Al-Shawaf emphasizes that emotions are not inherently selfish. They can also serve communal interests, such as raising children or maintaining friendships. The evolutionary perspective on emotions highlights their adaptive functions, even when they feel negative. For example, shame helps prevent status loss, while anxiety serves as a vigilance system for detecting threats. The evolutionary mismatch between our ancestral environment and modern society can exacerbate emotional distress, as many people now live in isolation, face sedentary lifestyles, and consume unhealthy diets. When discussing basic emotions, Dr. Al-Shawaf challenges the idea that some emotions are more fundamental than others. While researchers often cite joy, sadness, anger, disgust, surprise, and fear as basic emotions due to their universal facial expressions, he argues that this distinction is somewhat arbitrary. Emotions like guilt and romantic love, which may not have universally recognized expressions, still serve vital functions and are present across cultures. Fear is a critical emotion that evolved to protect us from dangers, such as predators or environmental hazards. It mobilizes various psychological and physiological changes to help us escape threats. Surprise, while less frequently discussed, serves to focus attention on unexpected events and evaluate them quickly. Shame functions to prevent social devaluation and status loss, prompting individuals to repair relationships and avoid behaviors that could lead to ostracism. Anxiety is particularly prevalent in modern society, and Dr. Al-Shawaf attributes this to several factors, including the lack of close kinship ties, sedentary lifestyles, and exposure to unrealistic standards through social media. These elements can create a cocktail of emotional distress, leading to increased feelings of sadness and anxiety. Despite this, emotions like sadness and anxiety serve important functions, such as soliciting support from others and prompting individuals to recalibrate their goals. Dr. Al-Shawaf discusses the concept of meta-emotions, or feelings about feelings. Individuals often experience secondary emotions in response to their primary emotions. For example, someone might feel anxious and then feel shame for being anxious. This layering of emotions can complicate emotional experiences and lead to a cycle of negative feelings. Dr. Al-Shawaf suggests that it is important to recognize and address these secondary emotions rather than simply dismissing them. By understanding the function of these emotions, individuals can better navigate their emotional landscape and avoid unnecessary self-criticism. Dr. Al-Shawaf clarifies the distinction between envy and jealousy, two emotions that are often conflated. Jealousy typically arises in the context of protecting valued relationships, such as romantic partnerships or friendships, from perceived threats, often involving a fear of loss. In contrast, envy is characterized by a desire for something that someone else possesses, such as status, possessions, or achievements. Understanding this distinction can help individuals better articulate their feelings and address the underlying issues that may be causing these emotions. The conversation touches on sex differences in emotional responses. Dr. Al-Shawaf notes that research indicates women generally have a more sensitive disgust response than men, which can influence their emotional experiences and reactions. He discusses how societal norms and expectations can shape emotional expression and regulation across genders. For instance, women may be socialized to express emotions more openly, while men may be encouraged to suppress their feelings. These differences can impact interpersonal dynamics and the way emotions are processed within relationships. Dr. Al-Shawaf explores the idea that not all emotions are adaptive or beneficial. While many emotions have evolved to serve specific functions, some can misfire or lead to maladaptive behaviors. For example, anger can sometimes escalate into aggression, which may not be a productive response to a situation. Dr. Al-Shawaf emphasizes the importance of recognizing when emotions are not serving their intended purpose, and suggests that individuals should assess whether their emotional responses are appropriate for the context. This awareness can help in managing emotions more effectively and making better decisions. Dr. Al-Shawaf shares how he applies his understanding of emotions in his daily life. He advocates for a nuanced approach to emotions, encouraging individuals to assess each emotion on a case-by-case basis rather than categorizing them as purely good or bad. By examining the function of an emotion and determining whether it is helpful or maladaptive in a given situation, individuals can make more informed choices about how to respond. For instance, he suggests that instead of immediately trying to suppress feelings of sadness, one should explore what that sadness might be signaling about their life circumstances. This reflective practice can lead to better emotional regulation and decision-making.